Welcome to Serious Data Solutions. I'm Malcolm Chisholm. This is the second video in a two-part series where we're trying to answer the question, which seems simple, which is often asked by data scientists and data analysts when they encounter a new data set. And the question is, what's in it? Well, it might sound simple, but it's actually quite difficult to answer. We're actually only going to think about the ways in which we could answer it, or we could formulate a structure to answer it. In the previous video, we looked at semantics. I'll put a link to that video below. We looked at how the concept of the universe of discourse allows us to have good grounds for thinking about data universes. We looked at intension and extension. We looked at the party model, which is a database design pattern that has a lot of implications in terms of intention and extension. And then we looked at definitions, and we saw how definitions, while they're useful, don't exactly give us the full scope of what a data universe is. So in this video, we're going to be looking at operational processes and how they are responsible for what actually defines the boundaries of a data universe. And we'll be using the example of an employee table. So let's get into it. One of the things that can happen with operational processes is that they can change the actual semantics in a database table. So we might have a database table which was thought to be designed for true employees, but operations puts into it, say, candidates and interns, which it was not intended for, but they can get them in there. So the semantics have changed. Now, we can't really always blame operations for this because they have to accommodate changes in the business which have to be done rather quickly, and they don't really have time to have an IT solution developed to meet this particular need. So that's one thing that operations can do to set scope of a data universe. Another is that there's no semantic issue, but different databases can address discrete populations of the same things. So we might have a database of Canadian employees, all true employees, and a separate database of US employees. Again, all true employees, no semantic problems, but they're two distinct populations of things. But even if there's no semantic issues and we've got a single population, we're still going to run into different data universes, and there are 9 such universes, or at least 9 that I can think of. So let's run through them. The first data universe we're going to look at is the data store universe. This is what we have in terms of the actual set of records inside a database table, however they may have got there. So beyond that, we might have, not always, but we might have a target data universe. This is a potential data universe, and it's the additional records that we might want to get into our data store universe. And the difference between the target universe and the data store universe is the required data universe. This is what we're going to have to get into the data store universe to get it large enough to meet this requirement of the target data universe. Beyond that, we have the enterprise data universe. So in our example of employees, this would be all the employees in all the databases or other data stores in the enterprise. This is everything we've got as data in the enterprise. And between the enterprise data universe and the target data universe, we have the unneeded data universe. That's the records that we're deliberately saying that we're not going to need in our required data universe. Now, after the enterprise data universe, we haven't got any data left, but there's a known universe. And the known universe would be all of the employees who are known in terms of information to the enterprise. Now, that might be employees whose job applications have been signed and they've accepted the jobs, but we just haven't captured their data yet, or we haven't captured their information as data in our databases yet. And between the known universe and the enterprise data universe, there's a potential data universe. And that is the set of employee records that if we really improved our operational processes, and it might take a lot of effort to do that, but if we did it, we would actually be able to get those records into the enterprise data universe. And then finally, we have the total universe. This is all the employees out there. And that would include beyond the known universe, the unknown universe. So the unknown universe would likely consist of employees that have maybe signed an acceptance letter and they've sent it back in snail mail, but we haven't received it yet. So we don't know, we the enterprise don't know if they've accepted it and if they're actually employees or not. So that's the unknown universe, the difference between the total universe and the known universe. Now, these concepts are, I think, quite useful, and sometimes they apply to database tables, and sometimes maybe they don't, but sometimes they're important, and thinking about them can act as a checklist for us to assess if our needs in terms of data are being addressed or not. The unknown universe, for example, is important in one particular area of the insurance industry, which is called IBNR, which stands for incurred but not reported. So in any period of time, an insurance company at the end of that period has to sort of report on its activities, but there will be insured events that happen in that time that the insurance company has not actually been notified of yet. And those are the IBNR events. They're an unknown universe. So the insurance company has to estimate what they might be for things like reserving against claims. So we can see that there's at least one important example of an unknown universe. So again, it may be, depending on your database table, important to think in terms of these 9 data universes. So we can see that operations is important, and it defines the scope ultimately of our data universe. And we've actually got 9 data universes, and we need to know in any particular context how they're important to us. These are difficult concepts to deal with, and I think that, the semantic aspects of them we talked about last time are best held in a business glossary. But these kinds of concepts, when we're relating to operational processes, are probably best held in a data catalog, because that's related to actual physical databases and data sets. Data catalogs are evolving very rapidly, and hopefully they'll catch up with these concepts, or maybe have something that's much better than these concepts to enable us to really answer that question when we come to a database table of what's in it. Well, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you feel so inclined. And until our next serious data solution, it's goodbye from me.